Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the His and Hers the Truth podcast.
Yes.
My name is Tuan. This is my lovely wife.
Sim, great seeing everyone. I've noticed our algorithm is picking up. Thank you guys for supporting us. But if you love our show, remember, always share, press that like button, and so that we can debunk the lies and bring more truth to you if, you know, love our channel.
Yeah, but the main thing, guys, right, is that recent videos can kind of see that too. We're definitely getting shadow banned out there. So all you shadow watchers and whoever's shadow banning us out there, right? Stop doing that and subscribe to the channel. You've watched our show, you watched our videos. And of course, if you like our content and help promote the truth,
please subscribe.
Please subscribe. Smash that like button, of course. Boom. And then at the end of the video, right, watch the whole video, share and comment. Turn your notification bell on too. But as we were saying, sometimes, guys, for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't like the truth.
Nope.
And so sometimes the notifications don't get out to everyone, but we'll try. We'll try our best to keep pushing this content out there for you guys.
Yep.
Speaking of which, guys, we'll have some content coming up, promise. First of the month, right? Every month we'll be reacting to your comments and your questions. So please have them ready for the live. We love answering them live, but also whatever past comments on the recent videos or past videos that we haven't reacted to yet, we'll comment as well. Yeah. So speaking of that, honey, this video today was actually sent to us by our producers.
Oh, nice.
And I'm kind of excited to react to it because I think, because I watched just part of it, but just the initial part I've watched, I think it's going to really hit home with a lot of our Asian viewers out there, men and women, right? And I think it's going to be really relatable to kind of what we're dealing with
right now,
you know, in this current market and what we talk about on this channel all the time. The video comes from a channel called 88 Tumble. It's just an Instagram quick short, guys, which I love. So guys, go follow them. 88 Tumble, right? That's definitely Asian for sure with the 88. So guys, go check it out. You know, and I will continue following their channel and see if they have any other cool topics. Okay.
Yep.
All right, but let's begin.
I see how my father treats my mother, and I go, no, fuck this shit. I will never marry some guy like that.
Did it make you not want to date Chinese men?
Oh, yeah.
What? Okay.
But the thing with
Okay, before she goes on to something else. What do you think about that initial reaction? Because that hit home with me a lot. Because there's a lot of Asian women, and not just, I think, guys, not just Asian American women or westernized Asian women that feel this way or think this way. And so what's your initial reactions to those comments that she said?
Well, her mom probably is mistreated by her dad, you know, like putting,
no, that's apparent. She obviously said that the way
that
he treated her was definitely looked at as a mistreatment, as a negative aspect.
So she's more modern woman. You know, you can tell the way she's speaking and everything else. She's a modern woman. It's no turning back. She's not going to be the typical Asian woman that's going to be, you know, sweating in the kitchens and doing all that stuff. You can tell, like, the way she talks and carry herself. She's not the typical traditional Asian woman. Yeah,
but I mean, is she really complaining about that? She never said that the dad made the mom like just slave away at home or you know, fold the clothes. She was talking about specifically of how the man, like, you know, the dad spoke. Treated
that's what I said,
the wife. So what do you think about that before I get into what I think?
The way he treated the wife, maybe he treated her, you know, in the traditional way, like what his parents taught, you know, like treated his mom traditionally, like she's in the kitchen, she's this, don't speak until you're spoken to type deal or whatever else. I'm just saying it. I'm just throwing things out there. That's normal traditional ways back then.
Okay, guys. You guys might get surprised by my comment or my reaction, but I 100% blame the man in this particular situation. And what I mean by that is I've told you guys on this channel many times, the truth does not adhere to social constructs, right? Whether that's religious, whether that's cultural, like our Asian culture, right? Where the man's supposed to be the head of the household, the leader, right? Where do you think kind of all these social constructs came from? Kind of these quote unquote traditions that we always like to call them from. They're ways of analyzing and interpreting the truth so that way we can get the best outcomes. But the problem is the truth is always the truth. You cannot change it. You cannot interpret it. There's not my truth or your truth. And what I mean by that is, unfortunately, the reason why she doesn't like the way her dad was treating her mom is because the dad is a beta male. It's a lesser value man. right? Because think about it, guys. How many women do you know that are in relationships with quote unquote toxic, misogynistic men, right? But because they're high value men, they put up with these men, right? I'm going to admit fully here that I'm more of quote unquote the truth type of man, right? I'm outspoken, I'm loud, I say things how I am. I'm not going to be, let's just say this, nice the way I talk to my wife sometimes, okay? That's 100% the honest truth, right? But the key is, does your value high enough to warrant that conversation or that treatment, like she's saying here, that you have with your wife, right? Because this is how women are. If your value isn't high enough, it's like following a bad leader, right? If you're following a bad leader, you're going to question everything that he wants to tell you to do, right? And then this is the other thing too. Most quality leaders, they won't have to treat their quote unquote subordinate or their assistant, their wife, whichever way you want to call it, right? The people that they're leading, they wouldn't have to treat them badly unless it was a situation where they had to kind of obviously cross a line to do it. And so that's rare is what I'm trying to tell you. Most of the time, a good leader, right, is going to protect, provide for the family and do what he must do to have the best outcome. And so the problem with this guy, her dad, and this is true of most families, let alone Asian men, right? And that's the reason why I want to point it out, is because we had lived in a world where all these social constructs was in place. Asian culture, religion, right? All these different things that says, okay, hey, you know, if you're a guy and you were paying for a woman, right? You were taking care of her financially, that was good enough. It was. Right? But the truth is that women want more than that.
And that's why
women want everything. And the Western, let's be honest, guys, the modern Western feminism, boss babe, girl power, whatever you want to call it, movement, push that ahead a lot faster. Right? And so now you have all women, let alone Asian women, wanting all these values. And so like I told you guys, all these social constructs are breaking down in front of our eyes in live time. Right? And so the truth is that women don't want low value men.
And that's the truth anytime.
And the problem is our Asian culture has always, unfortunately, propagated or allowed these kind of relationships to happen. Right? And we called it duty. We called it for the better of the family. And I get it, guys. When you grow up in a culture or a society, right, where there was communism, dictatorship, right? And then also you want everyone to obviously, like I said, you guys, it's a controlling system, right? Any system wants people to follow, right? And so what's the best way to get people to follow? Weaken the male population, make them all beta.
So they can't fight back.
Right? And then give them a system, right? And implement a system where the man and the women has to follow this to quote unquote be happy and have the best quote unquote outcomes. But the reality is people don't want that. Men want to be the best man. Men want to have multiple women, have sex with multiple partners, have the capability, even if you might not do it, to have high value enough to be attractive to multiple women, right? And women want those men, right? And so when you don't have that, and this is the other thing I'll say before we keep on going, is that, guys, this is why it's so cap when women say they want a man to be more emotional and more vulnerable, right? Because only weak, lack of control, emotional beta men,
and you don't see them
lash out.
Yeah, but they don't lash,
right? Because they don't have high value. So what do they have to do? They have to lash out their significant other, right? Because think about it, if you're not high value, your woman's not going to follow you to begin with. So she's going to always be constantly nagging you. She's always going to be complaining to you. She's going to be saying, why is my life like this? Why am I doing, you know what I'm saying? She's going to bitch and moan, and then you're going to just have to lash out because you don't have anything to say. You don't have any value to give to her. Say, hey, you know, shut up. I'm doing everything I can. Because you're not doing everything you can. You're not protecting and providing the best you can.
Chinese people is, you don't ever marry that person alone. You marry the whole fucking family. It's hard enough to deal with my parents. I don't want another set of Asian parents. I need a culture where, like, Parents are on their fucking own. They're doing their own shit, and they're not expecting kids to always be around, take care of them. Yeah. And that's, I guess, white culture.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the end of the video, and they got into kind of the whole parents thing, so I kind of wanted to let it continue and finish. And then, of course, she said that, you know, that kind of, I guess for some Asians, especially Asian men, because, you know, they're going to call this chick a Lou or a freaking banana. I'm sure there's a lot of my Asian brothers out here that are still not RP aware and still kind of freaking, unfortunately, really hateful towards women. And our Asian sisters specifically, that's going to react that way. But she called, obviously, you know, it's white culture that she wants, right? So what do you think about those comments, honey? About the whole parents thing first.
Well, it's true. I mean, think about it. Like, it is true with the Asian, when you marry to an Asian family, if they're traditional, you are, you know, most of the time, the men still take care of, especially if you're, you know, the eldest. Like that.
No, but what did you think about her initial statement, right? Family. That when you marry, when you marry another Asian person, you marry their whole family. And she said specifically, man, I don't want to deal with my parents, let alone having to deal with another parents, right? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, because that's most of the time the traditional way. Because you don't send your elderly parents out most of the time, unless, you know. So that's true.
We got to look at the underlying tone, right? Let's say
responsibility.
Let's say that she doesn't like Asian people now, and she goes marries a white guy or a black guy or a Hispanic guy or whatever ethnicity. You're trying to tell me that she's not going to go talk to that parent, that dude's mom and dad? You don't think they're going to freaking...
No, I'm saying she doesn't mind like marrying into the family, but she doesn't want the responsibility of taking care of them, especially if, you know...
We'll get into that. We'll get
the underlying is she doesn't want the response.
We'll get into that.
If he had money, he's gonna be sending his parents.
We'll get into that and the whole dealing with the parents and that type of stuff. But how many Asian sisters do you know that go marry outside of their race, right? Because there's a lot, guys, right? We talk about the stats all the time, right? Asian people, Asian women, or Western women specifically, marry outside their race almost more than 50%, right? So you're trying to tell me that all these women don't deal with their white, black, Hispanic husband's family?
They do deal with them. I think what she's referring to is living with them or something. Because sometimes the traditional Asian parents, they do live together, honey.
Yes, you can say that, but guys, this is the underlying thing once again.
But you do deal with them.
This is the underlying thing once again. And when
you always have to deal with them.
Yes, but when I say it, this is what I'm going to talk. You have to deal with any family member.
That's what I'm saying.
But the point is, they don't want to deal with beta-ass people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, it just goes back to what I was saying earlier, because she keeps referring to her parents. Her parents are low-value people, her dad specifically, right? She does not respect her father, right? He's not a high-value guy, right? The kids do not respect the dad, right? And because of that, they don't like how the mom is treating herself, right? They don't respect the mom either, right? And because they think this is how other parents are going to be, right? They're not going to respect those parents as well. But how many times have you seen these Asian girls that date outside their race? They go to the white family's house and they're all lovey-dovey and they try to freaking put their freaking Asian culture, like, hey, you know, I make this type of food and this is part of our culture. How many times have you seen these and we call them, like, I'm using the terms that Asian men in what we would consider the hating Asian men in our community call these women, right? They'll call them, oh, well, you know, these women are freaking self-haters because they hate their own culture. But when they go date a white guy, they'll tell them how great their Asian culture is, right?
Or a black guy or whatever.
Correct.
Else.
And it's because, guys, it's not that they hate our culture. They hate the low-value people within our culture.
The low traits.
Correct. And so the low traits, once again, right, are weak, short, right, physically inept men, probably like her dad was. She doesn't seem like that tall or big of a person. She seems very stereotypical as well, too, although she's obviously talking very westernized. But my point is, I guarantee if I saw her dad, she'd probably just some goofy, short Asian dude. Her mom's probably the same way. If these were high-value Asian people, tall, handsome, well-to-do, right, leader, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be talking about her mom and dad that way, okay? And then, of course, if she had that good role model to, like, look at when she was growing up, I guarantee you she would not think of Asian people like this.
Or, vice versa. We don't know what's behind doors, honey. Maybe her dad mistreats the mom, or maybe he cheats or whatever else.
No, guys.
Just maybe.
Yeah, no, that's such the abnormal. Guys, let's stick to the point, because I know, reason why I'm saying this, guys, is I know a lot of my Asian brothers and sisters out there are dealing with the same thing.
Yeah.
You guys have grown up in a culture where we've told everyone that finance is the only big deal, right? As long as your dad, your mom makes money for you and provide for you, focus on school, right? But your dad wasn't a freaking cool guy. He wasn't an alpha dude. And so he had to treat your mom a certain way, because these men who are freaking terrible with women, and all they had, and this is the reason why TradCon guys fail too, right? This is the reason why people are stepping away from the church, because guys like that, they don't know game. They don't know what women really want. They've been told their whole lives, like, this is how the system is supposed to work, right? You believe in God. The woman fears God. And then you guys go together, and you guys are supposed to follow God and freaking be good and lead your children to God, right? Yeah. But the reality is, people want the truth. People want the best values to produce the best kids, to have the best outcomes, right? And it doesn't matter if freaking you tell them, oh, you got to do it for a moral reason, or you got to tell them do it because it's an Asian thing to do. People don't give a shit.
Yeah, if you're struggling.
People want the best values. They want the best man. They want the best wife. And if the man is high enough value, he wants multiple wives. That's just how it is, right? And so if she had that father and that mom growing up, I guarantee you she wouldn't be the way she is, okay?
God.
What do you think about that last statement where she's saying that, I guess white culture is what she wants now?
Because she feels that if the white culture is more open, more, she doesn't have to be acting traditional. It's it's different from her own family, Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think it's not, she's equating it as white, which is fair to say, right? Because when we think of Western society, what do we think mostly, right? America, which is, let's be honest, mostly white people. We think of UK, we think of Australia, we think of, these westernized white culture of societies, right? But really, what she's talking about is a Western ideology, right? Where everyone is equal now, right? And then, of course, no one shames a woman nowadays for wanting what they want, right? No one's telling her, hey, you better freaking be this nice, cute girl. Look at the way she talks, right? She's swearing every other word, right? She talks with a very masculine voice and a very masculine type of demeanor, right? So no one's telling, hey, you got to be quiet and nice. But see, this is the problem. All she has done is replace one social construct with another social construct. She's replaced this, unfortunately, Asian culture, right, construct that she doesn't like, and rightfully so. I've just explained to my reasons on why it won't work out. Right? Just like I said, a religious culture, right? Where people are stepping away from the church. It doesn't work out. That's not what they want.
Yeah, but she's still going to bring that Asian culture to introduce to the white family no matter what, whether it's traditional food or whether they celebrate the New Year.
That's not really the big concern. The big concern is, unfortunately, she is going to replace the Asian culture, which in a rigid system, if both the man and the woman thinks that way, it works out, right? At least in a culture like the Asian culture construct or the religious construct, if both the men and the female can believe that matrix, right? Can believe that ideology, they can make it work. The problem in the Western, the modern day, and this is, I want to end it on this. That's the reason why I'm bringing it up, is the reason why it won't work, what she wants to do, is because the modern westernized way of looking at relationships don't work.
It's not the
same. You cannot tell a woman to lower her values, act more masculine, be a boss babe, be more hoish, be more promiscuous, right? And then expect men to want that.
They don't want that, though.
Hell no, we want that, right? So as much as she's thinking that she's going to greener pastures, she's not. All she's doing is going to another matrix that makes her feel good, saying that she doesn't have to be these quote unquote things that her original matrix told her to be. But the truth is, the things that they're telling her to become are not going to be attractive to men either. Right? And so that's where the downside is. And guys, this is what's happening. This is exactly this short video is exactly what is going on with the current dating market.
And that's why they always say grass is not always greener on the other side.
Correct.
Sometimes it's just your own perspective and it's a traits. So you men got to shape up.
Yeah, but this hit really home to me because this is a very Asian culture related. Guys, this is, like I said, a lot of Americans, if you want to call Western society, they went more from the tradcon construct, right? The religious construct to now this more feminism, woke, modern, right? Partner, equal relationship, social construct, right? Yeah. Whereas the Asian culture, we went from the Asian construct now to the more modern. And the reason why I'm telling you boys this is that because a lot of my Asian brothers are still stuck in that Asian social construct.
They're not awake
and
yet.
You guys are not awake. You guys are not aware that we have already moved on to this more modern construct.
It's not going to go back.
And it's not going to go back.
It's going to keep going forward, and you just have to work with it or accept it. And if you want something better, you just got to... you just got to up your game.
Yeah, and that's the truth. The problem is when there is no construct control anything, and we literally have, in essence, a deregulated sexual market, what happens is the truth is even more pronounced, right? The truth is even more pronounced because now women want the best of the best, right? If they have the choice, you're telling me, oh, I don't have to follow my Asian construct. I don't have to follow my religious construct. Well, what do I want? I want the top 0.0001% of man,
and trust
whoever
me,
that is. Right?
It's not that easy.
Right?
You're
now the problem though is getting the modern woman to realize, okay, cool, you can want that, but the truth demands the equal value exchange, which is if you want that top tier man, then you have to unfortunately expect top tier problems, meaning that you better be the best looking, the best feminine, right? The least promiscuous, right? Because top value demands top value. And then this is another thing that most modern women want to hear. They don't want to hear this. He's going to have other women. Right? But you guys have been lied to say, oh, I'm a freaking, I'm overweight. I'm masculine as hell. I freaking have multiple, if not, triple digit body count. And I deserve this top tier man. And not only that, by the way, he has to be loyal to me.
It's not going to happen.
So you see where the delusion is stemming from.
Yeah.
Right? But hey, that was a great video. That, like I said, to me encapsulated what is going on with our Asian culture, how it relates to the sexual dating market right now.
So we got to wake up, guys. Wake up.
Hopefully you guys wake up from that video and learn from it.
See ya.
Talk to you guys.
Bye.
Join us as we give you guys a glimpse into our lives, give you guys advice, hopefully give you guys entertainment value as well too, and provide you guys better outcomes.
Yes.